Hello and welcome to Eat or Not to Eat. In today's episode, we're going through hunting and gathering, a predominant form of food production up until 10,000 years ago.
Hello there, Martine Blair here, with To Eat or Not to Eat. Behind me here we have some deadfall. Deadfall is a great place to seek out game, as the game likes to use it as a place to find shelter and a place of refuge in storms. I've been staking out this place for a while, and while I've had some help from my good dog Jack. Jack, come here boy! Dogs are a great asset in hunting, as they can flush out the game for you. They're also a great detriment, as they can scare that very same game away. And well, you also gotta feed them. Here we have some water. Game and yourself both have the same challenges in life. You're having to attain sustenance, such as the water we have right here. These are great places to put traps, especially if you can find a game trail leading to this water. But be aware, everywhere you go you leave a scent, so getting too close to this could scare off those animals. One moment, please. Efficiency and movement. You always have to remember, you want to burn less calories than you hope to gain when catching that game. So remember, this is one of the reasons why trapping and snaring was one of the better routes instead of hunting. Because you could burn less calories while gaining more. Hunting and gathering. One of the principal pieces of hunting and gathering is the gathering. So while you're hunting, you want to keep an eye out for what you can gather. Like this right here, the alligator juniper. Called alligator juniper because of its bark, resembling the skin of an alligator. But the juniper piece is the important part. Junipers are known to produce berries once a year, which can be ground into a meal, later to be produced into bread. So keep an eye out for what you can gather later in that year. Hunter-gatherers not only knew what to catch for food, what to gather to eat, but they also knew what had value for structures and as medicinal plants, such as the pine needles here, which can be boiled into a high vitamin C tea.
Catching the animal is only the first step. Then you need to process the animal to make it edible and cookable for yourself. This process starts with first removing the skin of the animal, then opening up the torso of the animal to remove the entrails, things that you can't eat. Then you go on to cooking the animal, making it edible for yourself. Once this is done, bon appetit, enjoy your meal. The Inca, the predecessors to modern-day Peruvians, a culture comparable to the Aztec and Mayans. They lived in the highlands of Peru, spanning much of the Andes Mountains. This harsh high altitude with steep mountain slopes leading to valleys and rivers was not conducive to agriculture and posed a multitude of challenges, from getting water to the crops to not slipping on the steep slope. But the Inca were innovative. They used different techniques such as terracing in order to provide them with the area in order to grow the crops. Terraces are a step-like series of plains cut into the side of the mountain. This allowed them to produce the food they needed, but it had its drawbacks. Having small farms provide for the cities individually. Each farm is on the outskirts of the cities, provided by a lease through the government. These farms provide all the food necessary for the city, except for other things that are out of season in that particular time. It's been a long journey, from hunter and gatherer, through the Inca, and to the modern day Peruvians. each having its strengths and weaknesses. The hunter and gatherers having to be aware that that day they may not eat. The Inca and their innovation of the terrace, allowing them to have agriculture on previously uncultivated land. And the modern day Peruvians having food cultivated just for the people who need it. So what have we found? We found some strengths and weaknesses. The modern day Peruvians' food production system is fragile. A simple disaster could prove to be hazardous for them. The Inca not having the ability to have large populations, and the hunter and gatherers having to constantly be moving, following their prey, collecting their game, always at risk. Thank you, and have a good night.